Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, we discuss Joe Biden's comments. We discuss some aggressive rodents, more police brutality, this time in Minneapolis. We'll just talk some NBA. And we will also answer a listener question. And as always, we'll wrap things up with some trivia. All that and more. On to the show. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You alright? Check. Pool. Out. Money. West Coast. Let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it trail, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me, now who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, but get out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't the Defy Life. Told you. On to the Shy Life. I'm gonna let this ride out though. Welcome back. Welcome to Life Podcast, powered by Podcast Network. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 159. Y'all come on in, wipe your feet, close the door behind you. I'm your host, J.R. Glenf. Joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Alvin Glenf. Thomas Stevens. What's good today, Al?
Man, doing good. You know, just good to be here. Good to be on this show. 159 up in this piece.
No doubt.
So, you know, as always, looking forward to the show.
No doubt. Thomas Stevens, what's good with you, sir?
Man, what's good?
Nothing, man.
Oh, okay. Man, nothing, man. Just hanging out, ready to get it going. You guys doing all right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
good.
man.
Good.
Always, how about you?
Man, I'm doing well.
It's always good to be in the number one more time.
No doubt.
All right.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. Things good. We you listeners wouldn't know, but we had some technical difficulties before we got started. I was all excited because I got a new laptop and couldn't hear shit when I called in. So we'll work on that next week. We'll sound fresh and clean next week, if y'all can even tell. But yeah, my weekend was good. Celebrated my birthday on Saturday, and it was a good weekend, man. Thank you guys for your birthday wishes. Everybody across the network, friends, family. West Coast Jay for his funny ass voicemail. That's a hilarious dude. That's a funny dude when he drinking, man. I mean, he already funny, but when he is drinking, oh my God, West Coast Jay is a funny dude. But yeah, man, spend my birthday with family, and my sister and my brother-in-law renewed their vows after 25 years, so it's kind of a dual celebration over my sister's house. So it was good, man. Then ate good, didn't drink too much, but kind of on purpose. So brought it in well. I felt good.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah, man. As usual, before we get too deep into the show, I just want to do a little bit of house cleaning. So I want to. First, as always, we want to shout out our patrons of the week. This week, we want to give a shout out to, especially, not all of our patrons, but especially these two for this week, Rosalind Lorick and Siobhan Petty. Roz, Siobhan, thank y'all so much for your support. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without you guys. People always ask, what's the best way to support the network? Go to patreon.com/GoDefyLife and become a patron. You can help us support our growth, allow us to host events, and continue to work in the community for less than your favorite fast food combo. You can support us. So check us out at Patreon. You can check out our written content at GoDefyLife.com. All of our podcast hubs are hubbed at DefyLifePods.com. And, of course, our branded apparel is found at defylifegear.com. So y'all definitely check us out. And of course, you can hear us, of course, not only at defylifepods.com, but all across any of your favorite platforms. Al, did I cover everything?
I think I need to jump off mute when I talk.
No.
And I think you did a great job. Those are my thoughts.
Appreciate it, because I'm out of breath. All right. First on our news tidbits. Sorry, y'all, but I threw one in there because, well, actually two through. I'm going to throw two in here because something happened between the time of me sending out the show notes and us talking now. So, sure, you guys probably already seen both of them. But did you see the other lady in Central Park who called the cops on the black dude for asking her to put her dog on a leash?
Wow.
The latest Karen. Okay. So there's a section of Central Park called the Ramble where, I guess it's kind of like open area and open space, but it's untouched and kind of unmanicured. So, there's bird watchers go back there, people with their dogs. But there are explicit signs everywhere that say if you have a dog, your dog must be on a leash, right? So there is there's a dude, a black dude. He's a bird watcher, he's an avid bird watcher, and he is walking along, doing what he does, and he spots this dog just running free. And he finally sees the dog's owner, and he asks the lady, "Hey, can you please put your dog on a leash?" And she starts flipping out. Of course, she starts flipping out on him, so he starts recording her. And she says, "Turn your phone off, stop recording me." He was like, "No, I'm asking you to put your dog on a leash because everybody here is complaining about your dog." And, so they go back and forth. Finally, she tries to, she rushes him. She has the dog by the collar. I don't know why she won't just put the dog on the leash. She has the leash in her right hand, the dog in her left hand, and starts going at him. And he's like, "Ma'am, you need to back away from me. Don't get close to me." And she pulls out her phone and says, "All right, well, I'm going to call the cops. I'm calling the police, and I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening me." And he says, "Okay, call the police. Do what you got to do." So she really calls the police and says, "Yes, there's an African-American man threatening my dog and threatening me." And she escalates it by, scream, kind of starting with this extreme voice, shaking, like he's really attacking her. And meanwhile, the dog is trying to get away, and this little Cocker Spaniel dog is twisted and turning. She's choking the dog. The dog is about to die. And she continues with her act, and she finally puts the dog on a leash, and the guy says, "Okay, thank you," and walks away. Another, Karen incident where these folks feel like they can call the cops on us just for existing, and how dare him ask her to follow the rules so he can enjoy his experience. But yeah, so at this point, of course, Black Twitter got to work, and they identified her. And not only is she on suspension from her job, I don't know what they have to investigate, but her job is now investigating the ordeal and has her on suspension. But the place that she got the dog from, when she adopted the dog, has come and taken the dog back. So, so just the latest incident, man. Al, you first, man. Does this even surprise you anymore? I'm kind of glad you haven't seen it, so you can be freshly aware of it now. Does it even surprise you that these folks do this kind of stuff?
Surprised. I can't say I'm surprised. No. It's out there. There are people who, they just have these beliefs and these values, and Because I know they out there, because I know this exists, when we see it, I'm not shocked. No, can't say I'm shocked at all.
And Pooh, she has come out in the course and she apologized. She said, "I'm not racist. This is not who I really am. Blah blah blah. I didn't mean to offend anyone." What's your BS? What's your BS meter on?
Oh man, 100. Whatever,
Right.
whatever decibel that is the top, man. It's just that's who you are, and I'm glad my guy captured it though. I'm really glad, that he captured it. And the funny part was, and it wasn't even funny. It was just completely over the top when she twisted her voice up and because someone please help me. He's attacking me. I mean, I was like you say, definitely not surprised, but I also was I was speechless. I was like, really?
Right.
But I mean, they've always done it. They've always.
Right. I mean, shit. The lady that got Emmett Till killed is still alive. So,
Wow.
How crazy is that? Living a happy life.
Mm.
So, yeah, man. But yeah, you're right. I'm glad he was able to capture it as well, and to make it even, even worse. We're coming off the heels of a lot of things still being revealed around the Ahmaud Arbery case, and then today there's another video of the police in Minneapolis. Did y'all see this video?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I didn't see the video. I saw a still caption, like down the guy's neck.
Yeah. So, remember, like, was the Eric Garner video? The dude was Eric Garner was selling cigarettes, and they choked him, and it was probably the entire start to finish from them choking him to finish him was probably 3-4 minutes. This was 8 minutes of this cop with just his knee in the back of this dude's neck, while people are like telling him like, "Yo, like he's not responding." And it started off with the dude like, just moaning, and saying, I can't breathe. Please take your foot off my neck. Cop not even moving. So there's a cop who's a white dude with his knee in the back of the dude's neck, and there's a Asian cop, kind of, how they do, walk in front of the camera, try to keep you from seeing what they, what's happening. So he's the protector of the oppressor at this point. So apparently the guy who's on the ground is accused of forgery. So, really, really dangerous guy, forging shit. So they feel like this had to happen. So, and they say he was intoxicated. So, but he was in handcuffs already, and the cop has his knee in the back of his neck. So he's like moaning, telling the cop, "I can't breathe. My head hurts. My back hurts. Everything hurts. Please get off me." Cop doesn't even move. He doesn't even acknowledge him. And so there's, of course, people on the sidewalk recording, talking to him. One dude was just like, "Yo, like, this is stuff you learn and train. Like, the most sensible stuff you'd say." They didn't even reply to him. And then a lady comes along, and she said she's an EMT with the city as well. And she was like, "Look, just check his pulse. That's all we want to make sure is that he's alive." Cop, the Asian cop, and the barrier cop, who's the Asian dude's like, "No, man, you back up. You back up off the sidewalk." The other cop that's on him doesn't even acknowledge. 8 minutes of this goes by pretty much, and for the last 2 minutes, the guy wasn't even responsive. Like, no motion, no nothing. The dude's knee is still in his back. The EMTs show up. They take his pulse while the cop's knee is still in his back. Obviously, he has no pulse. They drag him off over to the gurney, literally dragging him over on the gurney, put him in the ambulance and drive off. Crazy. I guess at some point, shit's gonna boil over, and people I know got, you know, took it to another level in the response to this kind of stuff. The last time there was like a group of this stuff happening, and that's when what happened when the cops got shot in Texas. At some point, like especially if these cops get off with this because it's continuing to happen. Al, how much clean, how much cut and dry can it get?
Yes. You know, we have several videos like this before, so it's kind of hard to even answer that question because the videos of the past seem cut and dry. I don't know what it's going to take for victims to receive justice, but I really think that that's the missing part in this problem, and it's really just the missing part of the problem in our country, and it's just ability. And I think the reality is we live in a country, we exist in a system that the basis of it is checks and balances, and but the system, the process only works if the people who are responsible for accountability do their job. And I think this is symptomatic of a problem that is plaguing our country. And it's people who are supposed to hold people responsible, hold them accountable. They're not exercising their power in an appropriate manner. Therefore, people aren't being held accountable, and therefore our society is the way it is. And I look at this, and while I try to be hopeful, I try to be optimist, I try to be somebody who is encouraging and think things are going to work out for the best, it's hard for me to believe that's the case because I know our country suffers from that. And this is just, unfortunately, the consequences of what happens. And, you know, I just think when I look at these situations, to me, that is just, again, the problem. And I just think, you know, if more police who murder people were imprisoned, the situation would be different. The police, in terms of how they engage people, would be different. The response of the public would be different. But I think part of what's happening here, and it's not just you know, police owning it when a video comes out. It's not just district attorneys charging people, but I mean, it's really the full process. And if people aren't, you know, not only prosecuted but convicted and then sentenced appropriately, then accountability just doesn't exist. And to me, that's what I fear is going to happen again.
Right. Yeah. Pooh, what say you, man? What are your thoughts? Is you thinking it's going to be a case of just another one, or we're going to see something different?
Wow, that's definitely hard to say, man. I'm along with Al with this. I mean, we've seen so many cut and dry videos, and they've been so many cut and dry cases and eyewitnesses and I mean, whatever you can have to have a cut and dry case, we've had it, and still yet, you know, they take it to trial and beat it, you know. So it's it's tough, man. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, and I agree with Al with this portion as well. I always think about when someone is doing something and they're not really worried about the consequences because they haven't really received, you know, a lot of consequences. I always think about T.I. I think it was the King album, and he says in his rap, he says, it's all fun and games till somebody get hurt. You know, so they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. They're not going to handle any, handle the situation with precautions or whatnot because they feel like they don't have to. Some do, but others they don't feel like they have to handle the situation with precaution. They're just going to be complete jerks or whatever they need to be. And until they stop getting a slap on the wrist and actually, quote unquote, get hurt, get football numbers for jail time. I mean, who knows? Just hit them with the murder case, whatever that has to be done. But until they see that, and you have guys that's made an example out of, then we'll see some things change.
True. Yeah, it kind of reminds me. So remember every year when we were kids and Madden would come out and we start playing, the first thing we say is, "Oh man, the graphics, man, they can't get no better than this. They can't get no better than this. They can't get." And we would say it every year. And every time something like this happens, we say, "Man, this is like." Think back to Trayvon Martin when we just had audio, but you can kind of tell what was going on. And we was like, man, they got the dude on camera saying he gonna hunt him down, but on video, on audio saying he gonna hunt him down. Basically, it don't get no clearer than this. And skip all the way to now, where we have the entire ordeal on video, and they still getting off. I just don't know what it's going to take, other than through the history of this world, there's only two things that have worked to make this kind of change happen. And it's litigation and violence. And obviously litigation ain't work. The next thing is going to be violence, and it's going to happen. And I mean like extreme ongoing violence. And that's one of the things that could possibly happen. And at that point, it's going to be too late. So, don't know. But when that does happen, in the words of Joe Biden, I hope y'all black enough to take the right side. Man, Al, well, is you ain't black enough to for this voting process that's about to happen?
I think I'm pretty black, and I'm not just African American. I'm black, right? So, but if we really gonna get down to why Joe Biden feels comfortable enough to make this comment, I blame his black ass supporters who done convinced this man that you got us. Like, don't worry about it, bro. Black folk behind you. And I think when you are given that type of license, I'm not surprised you mix that license along with his being 99 and a half years old, that not really understanding maybe what's appropriate and what's not appropriate like he used to 20 years ago, though he's always been flip with the lip. So, I can't even blame it on he's old as hell. But I really don't even blame him, because you know what? He's a white dude who his black friends been allowing them to call them, use the N-words. Nah, it's all good. You can say nigga around us, and then he get around the wrong folk and say nigga, and it's like, oh, I can't say that? Nah, motherfucker, you don't get to say that.
Whose man's is this? Right.
He that dude. And so I don't even blame Joe, because he know it's all good in the hood. So what's the problem? And I think that's pretty much been a lot of the response. People just done looked over it, and it's like, and I don't even think it's that big of a deal. Like, I don't think he should be kicked off the ticket or anything like that. But the fact that people haven't called him back on it and been like, really, bruh? You ain't got it like that, son. I think it's just because he got that street cred, that black cred with the folk, but he don't. But he do, but he really don't.
Yeah, and afraid to say. I think Barack falls in that crowd of black folks who encouraging him to speak in that way. Because he's obviously run that by Barack at some point in their conversations. So, yeah, I'm gonna kill him with this.
See, I mean, again, I agree. Barack is part of those who done gave him, but I wouldn't even give Biden that much credit to say he done ran this shit by somebody. As much
No, I don't think so.
I'm just running with it. I'm all caught up. I'm on a hip hop show. I'm feeling in this shit. They feeling me. You know what? And then it's like, damn, you said that? Yeah, I said that. I said, my bad.
So
damn, Joe.
Pooh, you think Joe's in the mirror before the show? Like, shit, I'm gonna kill him with this.
Nah, I mean, like Al said, I mean, he always shot from the hip. You know, I don't even know if he too much, think about his response. He just shoot from the hip, But Joe, I guess he like shit. What's the kid named Trump talking wild mouth, and they love it.
Right.
Let me give him some of this from the Democratic Party. I can pop it too. So hey, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah, and I mean, it's like Al said, ain't that in and of itself, it ain't that big of a deal to me. It's just a politician politicking. Ain't no different than Hillary Clinton claiming she got hot sauce and she down with us because she got hot sauce in her purse. It's politicians politicking, man. It's just dumb shit they do. But it's just again another example in a long line of examples of like y'all said, is they just think they got our vote. Like they don't have to do shit for us. And they can pretty much testify for us. Y'all black enough. I got you. That's pretty much what they're telling us. And maybe coincidentally, maybe not, but Joe did reveal his an immediate plan for the black community. Touching on discrepancies in treatment and sicknesses around COVID. So he did reveal that a day later. So kudos to him for at least having a plan, because a lot of us, including Keon Small, feels Barack ain't do nothing for black folks while he was in office. So, at least Joe has revealed a plan that he's going to do something for black folks. And, and he mentioned, touching on laws that have kind of, oppressed black growth and black advancement in the history of this country. So he does have a plan, at least on paper. So at least something legitimate to get our vote. Don't just jump in and say, hey, I got your vote, black folks. Ride with me. Are you black enough?
And honestly, I think another question that, needs to be asked about this is really the merits of his comment. And and I'm not just talking about being a person of African descent in this country, black person, but a black person as in somebody who is black folk doing better, about black people as a collective, about someone who knows, embodies, embraces, honors our culture. That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about being black. Can you be that person and be a Trump supporter? And to me, it does seem to be, when you talk about what he said, it does seem to be a contradiction. Really? Can you really be? And I'm not saying you need to be a supporter of his and be that person, because, again, like his party ain't really, they got some questions to be answered as well. But can you really be a quote unquote black person under how I'm defining black and be a Trump supporter? And I say, hell no.
So final question around this. And it's kind of rhetorical, but it's funny. If he was in a room full of white folks, would he have used the words ain't white enough if he was talking to white folks? Why do you feel like he got to dumb it down for us?
Come on, man. You know that, right? Yeah, you said it was rhetorical, so I'm not even gonna you know what it is.
It's just like, to me, like, yeah, man. Like it just screams to me like, when you watching, you see a Toyota commercial on ABC versus BET.
And you're like, damn.
Right. Like,
that's how y'all see us? That's
right.
how you see us?
Like, what? Like, why we always got to be headed to a barbecue talking gibberish? Like, why?
Come on, man. Not that, you can't have that commercial. You can't have balance. But really, if that's just going to be if you're going to have only that commercial on BET, it does say something about how you see us. And correct, I'm with you. Like, it does speak to some type of something in Biden. The fact that, as a white person, I feel so cool and I know so much about y'all that I'm going to make this comment and say it in a way that y'all can understand.
Right. That's the only way I can get to you. Is I can say, you ain't black enough, nigga. Like, that's just like this. But again, like you said, it's Joe. It's just it's his thing. He's just, like you say, he's flipping the lip. So you take the good with the bad in this situation, because again, in the big scheme of things, that one comment, it ain't that crazy. So as long as somebody got to be in his ear though, like, yo, that's too far, or you getting close to the line, Joe, step back. Like, somebody got to be back. So I don't know. And the last news tidbit we got, ain't really nothing we got. I just want to give you all a warning, man. The CDC has warned the public to be aware of aggressive rodents who are in search of food, as restaurants are not making as much food and throwing as much food out in their trash cans now. So y'all be aware, man, of these aggressive rodents. They're gonna start showing up at your door, looking for food, knocking on your door with masks on, saying they selling magazines for their school, and they're really trying to rob you for food. So, Pooh, be careful, man. Al, be careful. I don't want y'all to get in, no raccoons and rats showing up at your door with Tech 9s and shit trying to get your sandwich, man. Y'all be careful.
I'll keep a lookout. But there's a lot to be explored in that statement. Like I read it. I had to read it like 3-4 times. Like, what? What does that mean? So, yeah.
Right. And it makes sense, I guess, because, I mean, there's that's where a lot of, animals go at night to get food. They go scavenging in trash cans. It's something you just don't think about, until the CDC has to warn you. So, and which is crazy, like in my neighborhood, there's this raccoon that's been showing up like lately. He don't care when the fuck it is. Like, it's the middle of the day. He chilling.
Motherfucker hungry.
Right. And it makes sense that McDonald's ain't got it like that no more. You got to come eat off us. So maybe now that we're opening back up, they'll chill out.
Why is the CDC?
I don't know.
It's the one making that announcement. Yeah. Like, ain't not animal and pest control or
right.
The Board of Health.
Yeah.
Republican Party. Like, somebody should be talking about rats and
Joe
not
Biden.
the CDC. I'm just saying.
Joe
Why
Biden.
them?
Maybe Joe's like, if you ain't showing up at somebody's house for food, you ain't raccoon enough.
You ain't raccoon enough. Or maybe Donald Trump has really kicked CDC so far to the curb that y'all can't talk about the pandemic. So
give y'all animals.
They said, well, we got to talk about something, and we talking about rats. I just don't understand.
I know, man. So just be happy you left New York 30 years ago, Al, because you could be in...
Shit, the rat problem in New York, if there's anything that persuades me on a regular basis about, you made the right decision, is the rat problem in New York City. Man. Yes. So, constant reminder when I go home.
Yeah, so, Pooh, you may have to postpone your trip to go get a record deal, man, in New York. So, just hold off.
Go ahead, man.
Ethan, I'm going anyway, man. Don't play me like that.
No.
Go ahead, man. I ain't stopping on no little rat. Ain't no rat holding me back.
Definitely not going to New York. That COVID strong out there.
Man, yeah.
Bro, not at all.
Wow. Oh man, but yeah, y'all out there, man. You two and everybody that's out there, just chill the fuck out and wait for the rats and raccoons to have their fun. Well, we're gonna jump into commercial really quick, and we'll be right back.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
Welcome back. This is episode 159 of the Defy Life podcast. It's JR, Al, Pooh. Guys, let's talk some sports really quick, man. It ain't a lot to talk about these days, of course, but leagues and teams and governments are starting to have the conversations around opening back up and figuring out how seasons can be completed, how seasons can be started, how training camps can start, all this stuff. So we're going to touch on the NBA first. The NBA is in talks with Disney, set to complete the season in Orlando at Disney with no fans. Pooh, how you feel about that? And do you think no fans could work in an NBA production?
No fans. I have to work. I really think that's what the bottom line going to be. No fans, right. And I definitely saw that. So I think it can work, man. I mean, like I said, I think it's going to have to work for now.
Right. Al, what do you think they do? You think it works? Do you think they have to pump in crowd noise? What do you think? How do you think that's going to look?
I think it's going to look strange. I wouldn't pump in the crowd noise because it's going to seem real,
right,
phony, and then like it ain't. Crowd noise is one of them things that oftentimes is relative to what's going on in the game, but you can't predict that, So how who gonna boo-hoo or who gonna cheer, and somebody's on the line shooting that free throw. Are you gonna raise the decimals up because right. This is a home game, and this would be in Oklahoma City, where they're pretty loud, or Golden State pretty loud fan base, and they would be going nuts right now.
Right.
Or this is Atlanta, so ain't nobody coming to their game, so just go mute. Like, I don't really know how you really make that fair. So, and without it looking real, just corny. So right. I would just, the suggestion I thought made some sense was really give us an opportunity to hear more of what's going on with the players, and now take this a time to make that part of the game. But I know some of that is going to be X-rated, and but I don't give a fuck. So I would love to hear somebody talking shit on the line and make that part of the experience now, as opposed to we can't get fans at the game. So, but either way, I'd watch it. I'm definitely want to see some competitive sports. So, I just hope they do it safely. That's really my main concern. Right. Like, as much as I want to see it, I hope all of these sports, professional and college, do it safely.
True. Yeah, and maybe they could do it like they did the Last Dance series. It was they had like the edited, family friendly version on ESPN, and the dirty version on ESPN2.
Did y'all see there's a new tape about Michael?
No.
Well, a surfaced of old interview, and the interview, allegedly he's basically admitting that he had a role in Isaiah Thomas not being in the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Like, just contradicts, what he says in the documentary, but really it's just hardcore evidence of an interview that he's just like, yeah, I told them if he playing, I ain't playing.
So kind of cements everything that we really know. We just don't want to admit about Michael Jordan.
But I thought that's what he always said. He didn't say that he's always said that though. He's always said that.
No, he hadn't said it. People have said that he said it. He never.
I don't know if he said it.
Because even in the
I remember watching the documentary of the Dream Team, and he was like, I didn't tell them that not to select Isaiah, but he said on the documentary that I told him that if Isaiah plays, then I'm not playing. So I mean, I've always heard that. I've always seen that. That was on the documentary for the Dream Team.
Oh, I never heard it come out of his mouth like that.
Yeah. Me neither. But that's what the interview says too. Which, I mean, to me, at this stage of it, everyone pretty much assumed that's what happened. Like, I don't really see the big deal in admitting it and just saying, yeah, I did it. Mm-hmm. I still don't really like the dude, but, maybe that wasn't the best way of handling it. Or say, fuck it. Like, I felt it, I meant it, and I'd do it again. Either way, it doesn't seem that big of a deal.
It don't. And like we said last week, like, Mike been retired 20 years. Ain't nothing gonna change nobody's mind about Mike. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't.
Yep.
So, we'll see. I don't know. Just see the NCAA is now allowing players to make money with their likeness and with their image. Yeah. So they've opened it up. Players will be allowed to be in commercials and make money off their likeness, their image. They won't be able to say what school, the school they play for or, anything that represents the school, but they can make their own money off of their own likeness. Al, what you think about that?
I think it's great. I think it's long overdue. I think it is definitely going to be different, cause a shift. I think the G League and, paying people $500,000 to play really forced the NCAA's hands to expedite any type of change they might have ever been considering, because, that put a whole new model on the block that they had to respond to, or they were going to lose their players. So I'm not surprised it happened. Curious to see, what players choose to do, but I think it's a change that's been way overdue, and these players should be getting money on top of the table as well, not just under the table.
Right. Pooh, you think it's going to work? What do you think about it?
Man, I definitely think it's dope. I just wish that the other guys, were able to get money as well. The 74th player on the team that's not as good, not playing. I wish they just the NCAA just ended up, man, and if you're playing, cut those guys checks, man. Because like I said, it's the guys out there balling and he's eating and Heisman Trophy and or in the race or 150 yards again, whatever it is. He's going to be able to eat. And like I say, that 74th, 78th guy on the team, dude, he's not.
Yeah. So what you're saying is nothing's really going to change. The good guys are still going to get paid.
Oh, well. Hey, right.
And of all people to come out and say they're against it is Reggie Bush, who had to turn in his Heisman because he got wrapped up and caught taking money and his family getting paid. Reggie Bush said he don't agree with it. I guess he, like you said, he want to be the Heisman Trophy winner. Just getting paid under the table. He wanted to keep it that way.
He should have just paid the dude though. He didn't even. It wasn't even that much. Like, no. I don't get it.
I don't either. Yeah, but all in all, I like it. For one, college is about preparing yourself for the real world, and that's how the real world works. If you're good, you're going to get paid. If you're the 74 on the bench, you might get ready for another career. But I like the beginnings of it. I do agree that there needs to be some evolution, afterwards. But I like the beginning. And I do. And Pooh, I thought you were going here when you said I wish those other guys could get paid. But the guys who missed out on this boat, the Charles and Ed O'Bannons and the Tim Tebows, and those guys could benefit from this as well because millions of dollars have been made off of their backs.
That's true.
And especially now that there's no more just off video games alone. There's no more NCAA football and no more NCAA basketball video games out there. Those guys don't have an avenue to get paid. They could have gotten broke off back when video games were out.
That's true.
So is the video games coming back?
That's the question. It would seem like that's
one way
an
to
avenue.
Put some money in their pockets,
right?
All of their pockets.
Yeah. So it would seem like it's an avenue to start those conversations. I would hope so. But we'll see. So, but on that note, we're gonna jump into our listener question before we get to trivia. Gerard from Augusta, Georgia, wants to know if all sports are open in September, which it looks like that may be the case. Like a lot of sports are going to be open around August, September time. Which one event would you want to attend most immediately? Pooh, you first.
Man, probably not gonna like my answer, man. I guess this hypothetically, right? Because I'm not going to be there.
Right. If you crazy enough to go to one, which one would you go to?
Man, I'll probably hold out for that. I think the Bears are coming to Tampa Bay or Jacksonville. I think no. The Bears are playing Carolina this year. So, I think they're playing in Carolina, and so either one of those games, man, I'll probably get to the Bears game. I haven't seen a Bears game in about 6 years, so it'd definitely be that.
Okay. Al, what say you? Which one event would you go to if you got all of them to pick from?
So, like, the one I would want to go to, but I really probably wouldn't go to and probably not going to go to for a long time, which really, now that I'm talking about, is like kind of feeling a little bit of sadness, but would be like the Morehouse and Spelman homecoming. And so let that just be really, I'm using them as any really major black college homecoming. Shit, it could be Tuskegee.
Right.
But like, that's the one I would love to go to because I love everything about that. Like, it's just the football, the black folk, the music, the everything. Just beautiful time. The barbecue and the tailgate. It's just nice, right? But honestly, with social distancing and everything, that might be one that takes a hard hit going forward over the next few years.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the one I just want to mention and lift up because that's the one I would really, really want to go to, but kind of like, Pooh, I ain't going to that shit. Right. I'm staying put.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, we only get this once every 4 years, Al. Steelers Cowboys play in November. I would love to go.
Oh, do they? They on the schedule this year in Pittsburgh or Dallas?
In Dallas. We actually play y'all twice. We play y'all in the first preseason game and then in the regular season in November.
Yeah,
like that would be lovely to go to with my cousin, but that shit ain't happening. Right? My
cousin and my son and your son.
Right,
like,
exactly.
That would just be a great family trip.
Right. We might even stop. I don't know who the Bears play on that weekend, but we'll take Pooh and let him watch the halftime of the Bears game. We'll keep it moving.
He can watch it on his phone or something.
Right.
As we in Jerry's world, I'm sure they got a bar or something that we can set up. Like, y'all got a Chicago game. Can I just start a Chicago game on? Just that one little small TV in the corner. Can you hook my man up and let him watch his game, please?
Like we'll stop in the stadium. Like, hey, y'all got Y'all got like babysitting for other teams in the stadium. They can watch their games.
Nah, we don't.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, here's my phone. Yeah, but that would be dope. But again, we probably have to, sit in different sections, avoid each other. It's just to avoid other folks and spread out. And so I ain't with it. So I guess we got to wait another 4 years.
But something you said earlier about all of these things kind of reopening at the same time, you're like, it's going to be sports overdose,
right?
With baseball, hockey, basketball, football, everybody trying to get it in, NASCAR, college basketball, like,
right?
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, and ain't nobody gonna have fans in the crowd.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting too, right? Yeah. It's gonna be all watching it from home.
Yeah, but what I really think, especially with the major sports that open back up with no fans, I think this is a good opportunity for them to explore different and new advertising options. If you don't have fans in the crowd, you can put logos all over the seats. You can put logos on jersey. Like, you can just explore different ways to advertise that even when fans come back, that you can maybe integrate those. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting.
Well, it's going to be like virtual tailgating.
Right. Oh, that'd be dope.
We're going to watch the game together, but on Zoom.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
All that stuff. Well, I don't know, Gerard. Thanks for your question. A lot of stuff I didn't even think about because, of course, when this first happened, I was like, man, I remember Money asked me that question when I was on their shows. That was the first thing you're going to do. And I was like, I'm going to some professional sporting event. I need sports in my life. But now that we've gotten this far, you're like, nah, I ain't doing it. So, Gerard, it may be a matter of which one will I attend virtually. So, we'll see.
Well, the part that seems kind of weird is that some of these teams are in different states, and so their facilities are being opened at different paces. So it's like, in some ways, teams are having competitive advantages because, depending on where their state is in recovering and reopening, they might even, they're in facilities already where you look at the Jets and the Giants, for example, they don't have access to their spaces yet. So I think that's going to be interesting to play out. I think, especially even with college athletics as well. I'm sure as some of these coaches been sneaking workouts in, or I just wonder how much of that is going to play out on the field, the differences in terms of how people handled the pandemic in terms of preparation for a season.
Yeah, and especially with colleges, because they have more to think about than just that, organization. You have to think about the school. Are students going to be allowed to come back? Are we only bringing back football players? And our football, football players going to be like, well, shit, if it ain't safe for the students, the regular students, why y'all bringing us back? So, there's a different level.
Which is a great question.
Right. And then, Cuomo has opened it up for New York sports. He said he's willing to open everything up for New York sports. But so if he opens it up, but the governor in Illinois is like, nah, we ain't ready for that. Do they wait until all states open up? So they're all enough competitive. It's just a lot of stuff to go through, man.
And there was a question in New York: are Jets and Giants considered New York sports?
That's a good question.
Are they considered New York sports? Because your company, y'all are based in Jersey,
right?
So,
that's true.
So headquarters not in New York City, New York State. I ain't talking to you.
Right, exactly.
That's our team. Your Jersey situation.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So still a lot more questions than answers at this point. But Gerard, I hope we answered your question as clearly as possible. I'm considering we in the same boat as you, cuz we can't go to no fucking games right now. But
Right.
thanks for your question. Y'all, we appreciate these, every week. So y'all keep sending them. We'll keep knocking them down. Hit us up at info@goldefylife.com via email. Or you can find us on social media, all social media platforms at Go Defy Life. Al, you ready to hit us up with that trivia?
Hey,
Yes, I am.
hold on, Al. Before we
Yeah,
start,
go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to hit you guys with this. You saw that the cops, when they get the book thrown at them, you guys already see they've already been terminated, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I saw initially they had hit him up with some different version.
When did that happen?
I'm reading the article now
Okay.
on from what is this NBC.
Okay.
So they terminated the two that was there and the two that responded, the other two that came in.
Okay.
So yeah, and they said the FBI is investigating it. So
Wow.
they may get the book thrown at them because they're not trying to protect them. They're not hanging on to them, administrative leave, and all that what they normally do.
Right.
They just completely canned them.
Wow.
So,
and I saw the last thing I saw was the mayor came out and said it was beyond reproach, like they were absolutely wrong. So
right,
at least that kind of leadership has already stepped up.
Right.
So hopefully
they just need to be indicted. Like honestly, man.
Right.
That's the next thing we're looking for is
right. That's the next thing we're looking for. Right.
we need indictments. Stop playing.
Right.
And then after that, we need convictions. And then after that, we need sentencing. Like, it's kind of weird. Whenever this happens, it just, to me, what comes to mind is that there was a time where, like, they wouldn't even got fired, or we wouldn't have known about it, or 100 years ago,
right?
Like this was just a normal existence for, like, not only did this happen on a more frequent basis, but it wasn't even a possibility of justice. Like that wasn't even part of the equation. At least we're like, yo, come on, we wondering if we're gonna see justice. Like our great grandfathers and shit, they wouldn't even expect it. It was just, oh well, that's just how it happened. And then on the other side, like they just felt like that was normal. Like that was just like, yeah, no big deal. Like that just happened, and let's not make a big deal out of it.
And back then, if they did speak up, there's a chance and the likelihood that some angry mob would show up at your house because you had the audacity to speak out. So not only did you not get justice, you got punished for being the victim.
Correct.
So, yeah. Well, good.
I mean, like, it speaks to our progress, but it speaks to our, where we come from, like in so many ways, a big part of the history, the fabric of this country. And that's just kind of scary. Kind of scary if you ask me, but anyway, good old boys.
Right. Well,
and no harm.
Thanks for that update, Pooh.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ready for the trivia, chickadee? Let's get it in. Can we do this? Let's get it.
There you
go. Typical style. We got 4 categories. And they are valued anywhere between 1 and 8. So there's one category that has 8 questions. So you can get 8 points, right? For the top answer. The difference in those, the 6, 7, and 8 in that category, those points, is a plus or minus question as well. So if you get it wrong, you're losing those 6 points. You're losing those 7 points, and you're losing those 8 points.
Okay.
All right. So that's the little difference in that category. Otherwise, straight rules, how we usually play. Just you got 4 categories, 1 through whatever, and just pick a category. So the categories are somewhat related to Memorial Day as we, go through this holiday more recently. So the first category has 5 questions, and it is called Spartans Never Surrender, Spartans Never Retreat. All right, so that's about war films. So it's all about war films.
Okay.
The second category has 8 questions. So this is the one that has 8, and it's called Soldier Athletes. All right, so just soldiers who were also athletes, athletes who were also soldiers.
Gotcha.
The third category is called Holidays. So just 5 questions related to holidays. And then the fourth category is barbecue. Get your grill on, right? So it's 4 questions. This one has 4, only has 4 questions, and it's related to barbecue. So you got barbecue, 4 questions, holiday, 5 questions, soldier athlete, 8 questions, and then Spartans Never Surrender, Spartans Never Retreat, 5 questions. That's about war films. 5 seconds, and who's going first? Who won last? Okay.
Let me get Spartans Never Retreat, Spartans Never Surrender.
Okay, for which one? 1 through 5.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 3.
3. Okay. So this is a 2008 American film, but it also it's like an American-Italian epic war film directed by Spike Lee. The film stars Derek Luke and Michael Eagley. And while it's set in Italy during World War II, the film tells the story of 4 Buffalo soldiers who seek refuge in a small Italian village where they form a pretty good bond with the residents. What's the name of that film? 5.
Don't know, but I'm going to say Buffalo Men.
The Miracle at St. Anna.
I do remember The Miracle at
Great
St.
movie.
Anna.
Great
Jane
movie.
Wright is in that, isn't it?
Is that like the guy who falls for the Italian chick? Which one is he?
No.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. Yeah.
I think he is in that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Love
The Miracle at St. Anna. I didn't even know Spike Lee did that, but okay.
Yeah, that's a Spike Lee joint. Okay, Jay.
All right. You said Buffalo. Barbecue had what point levels?
4.
We get barbecue for 4.
Oh shit, my computer froze.
4 points for me. Yes.
Right.
Hold on, work with me. My computer froze. It's whack. Yeah. Can you put pause for a second?
Yep.
All right. So you 4 for barbecue or 3 for barbecue? Which one did you say?
4.
Good memory.
Oh, yeah. Let me go 4. Yeah.
Okay. What president hosted the first barbecue at the White House?
Holy shit.
5, 4, 3,
Teddy Roosevelt.
2. Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, that makes sense. That country motherfucker.
Yeah, right. When I read that, I was like, that does make sense.
All right.
Not surprised. From Texas, I believe. So, he liked his barbecue.
Right.
What you not who's this heavyweight champion? Was Bomber. Okay, Jay, which way you headed?
You hear me?
I can.
I cut up. Who get that one?
Did he got that one? It was Joe Louis.
I did.
Okay. Shit. At what point levels did he get?
He got 3 for soldier athletes.
Okay. All right. Let me go 5 for soldier athlete.
This Pittsburgh Pirate Hall of Famer is beloved in the baseball world, and with good reason. While he's usually remembered for a tragic death, he was also a private first class in the Marine Corps for almost 10 years of his baseball career. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shit.
I can't give it to you.
Damn.
I can't give it to you.
Let me get soldiers for 2.
Hold on. Let me give the answer. Our listeners who give a damn. That was Roberto Clemente.
Oh wow! And I was gonna say, I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Roberto Clemente.
Wow.
Okay. What do you say? Soldiers for 2, right?
Yeah.
Not only did he have the courage to break the color line in professional sports, but he also had the courage to serve in the Army as a second lieutenant. Unfortunately, his military career was derailed due to racial tensions, as he was nearly court-martialed after refusing to give his seat up on a bus to a white officer. Who's that soldier athlete? 5. That'd be Jack Robinson. Okay, which way you going, Jay?
Make sure I got it. We got soldier athletes.
Soldier athletes. Right.
Never surrender. Spars never
Holidays.
surrender. Holidays.
You got holidays, and then you got barbecue.
Let me go holidays for 5.
Okay. 5. This is the celebration. The celebration of the Jewish New Year is known as what? 5, 4, 3.
Is that
2,
that Rosh Hashanah?
Yes, it is. Rosh Hashanah.
Wow.
The buzzer.
I don't know about that, but
At the buzzer. If you know, we gonna give latitude at the buzzer.
Nah,
we give a little latitude.
I'm sure that wasn't there. I was talking at the 1.
What you got? What you got, Pooh?
We see holidays. We got holidays. We have cookouts. We have
Never surrender, never retreat, and then soldier athletes.
Let me get never. You know what? Soldier athletes. Where are we with the normal point?
4.
System?
You got 4 left, and you have 1 left.
Remember how 4.
After being drafted in 1968 out of Notre Dame, this Steelers halfback was drafted into the Army and was sent to Vietnam after his rookie season. He earned a Purple Heart and Bronze Star after being wounded in action, suffering gunshots and grenade injuries. He eventually returned to the Steelers in 1974. He fought for a roster spot, but he ultimately goes on to win 4 Super Bowl rings. What's the name of that soldier athlete?
Is that
5? Dang, that would be wrong.
Rocky
Jay. I like Jay. I can tell from the huffing and puffing, you know who that is.
I should have. Yeah, that's Rocky Blyer.
Rocky Blyer.
Oh, I had no clue.
Same backfield, just you picked the wrong one. Okay, Jay, where you headed?
What's left in barbecue?
Barbecue, you got 1, 2, 3.
And what's left in soldiers?
Soldiers, you have 1, 6, 7, and 8.
Ooh, I'm going to want to touch them 6s, man.
I know what you're talking
about. All right, let me go barbecue for 3.
Okay, barbecue for 3. So, in the late 1800s, cattle barons did not want to feed cowboys good meat. So they threw them this piece of meat. Cowboys soon figured out that if you cooked it for a long time over low heat, it was delicious. What is this meat? 5.
Brisket?
That would be brisket.
That's solid there, Jay. That's a good one. Yeah.
That would be brisket.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm impressed with that one. But okay. I'm impressed with that one.
Hey, this barbecue trivia.
Right. I'm impressed with that one. Okay. Let me have and we left with Soldier for One, right? Let me get this. Let me get this gimme.
Okay. Aptly named the Admiral, this NBA Hall of Fame center chose.
Robinson.
Damn.
Okay. I appreciate you, but it's in this Memorial Day. Let me honor my soldiers
My
by
bad, brother. My bad.
giving
You
him
right.
his prop.
My
Aptly
bad,
named
brother.
the Admiral, the NBA Hall of Fame center chose to attend the United States Naval Academy for his college years. He ended up being the number one pick in the 19 draft by the San Antonio Spurs, but due to his commitment to the Navy, he served 2 years for his country as a civil engineer before joining the NBA in 1989. And yes, Pooh, you are correct. That is David Robinson.
I didn't know he served. I thought they bought him out.
I
Yeah, I thought the NBA bought him out.
Nah, they was happy to get him after them 2 years.
So now they can buy you out, right, or something like that.
ain't seen nobody.
Yeah,
I
now
have no idea.
now they allow you to serve the 2 years after you retire.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, it's on you.
Let me go barbecue for 2.
Barbecue for 2. Barbecue for 2 is what's the national barbecue month is the month of 5, 4.
You broke up. You
3
said National Barbecue Month is what?
is the month of what month is it? 5, 4,
July?
3. It would be May.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
It is May. Who knew?
Right.
Who?
Where are we now, Al?
Score wise?
Score wise and
Okay, score wise, it's 6-8. JR is winning. In terms of what's left, starting from the top, you have Spartans never surrender, Spartans never retreat. You have number 1 left, number 2 left, 4 and 5. Soldier athletes, you have 6, 7, and 8, which is the plus or minus section. And your holidays, you have 1 through 4. And then barbecue, there's only 1 left. Number 1 is left.
Okay. And at some point, are we going to be forced to select the plus minus?
Oh yeah. It's not like these are part of the game, son.
I got you.
So yeah. You choose them at your strategy.
Right. So let me get that Jean-Claude Van Damme, never retreat, never surrender. Let me get that for.
Okay. Which one?
I'm gonna get that for. Let me try.
Go ahead and jump on that 8.
Let me get 2.
You got 2.
Let me get a short point.
So in this movie, Denzel Washington played a colonel serving in the Gulf War. He accidentally destroys one of his own tanks during a confusing nighttime battle, killing his friend. Later, he is assigned to determine if the female captain, played by Meg Ryan, should be the first woman to receive the Medal of Honor posthumously. What's the name of that movie?
Name of that movie. I can see the cover.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't know the name of it, but I'm gonna say Under Siege, but I know it's not Under Siege. What is
Nah, that is a great movie with Denzel. This one is called Courage Under Fire.
Courage Under Fire? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Courage Under Fire.
I couldn't think of it. God, dog it. When you said Denzel, I immediately thought you were gonna go Crimson Tide, but
Wow. Let me get barbecue for 1.
What day is the most popular day to barbecue in this country?
July 4th.
yeah,
That is correct.
the gimme. Let me get the gimme with the soldiers.
Hold on. The war movie or
Yeah, the war movies. My bad. Yeah.
okay. This is a 2012 war film starring Terrence Howard, Terrence Howard and Cuba Gooding Jr. It's about the Tuskegee Airmen, a group of African American United States Army Air Force servicemen during World War II. What's the name of that movie?
Tuskegee Airmen.
No.
Wow, really,
Black.
yo?
Red Tails.
Red Tails. I just
Who?
I just looked at that.
So much for that gimme.
So much for the layup. Okay.
Tails, red tails, some tails.
Get what you got, Jay?
All right, so what's left other than the 6, 7, and 8 plus and minus?
You got the 4 in the war films and the 5 in war movies. 6, 7, and 8. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 through 4 in holidays.
Oh. All right, let me go 5 in war films.
Okay. This 2014 American war film starred Brad Pitt. The film portrays a U.S. tank crew fighting in Nazi Germany during the final weeks of the European part of the World War II. A battle-hardened Army sergeant named War Daddy, he commands his tank and his 5-man crew on a mission behind enemy lines. They face overwhelming odds in a heroic attempt to strike at the heart of Nazi Germany. What's the name of this film?
That would be Fury. I want to let you finish.
That would be Fury.
So we can honor the war folks.
Jay, be quiet, man.
I'm saying, man, I'm not dishful like some people, man. I let it finish.
Dude, I apologize, bro. Man, let me get war film for 4, man.
War film for 4. Okay. This is a 1984 film.
Man, Jay getting a 2012 dog.
It's a 4. Yo, but this is an easy. Hold on, dog.
Okay, you're right. Go ahead. My bad.
It's adapted from a Pulitzer Prize winning off-Broadway production. It's about a black military officer who's also a lawyer who's sent to investigate the murder of a black sergeant in Louisiana near the end of World War II.
Oh, man.
It's a story about racism in a segregated regiment of the U.S. Army commanded by white officers and training in the Jim Crow South in a time and a place where a black officer is unprecedented and bitterly resented by nearly everyone. What is the name of this movie? 5, 4.
I can't remember, yo. I'm gonna say A Few Good Men, though.
Oh man, it's called a soldier story.
A soldier story.
One of the oh my god,
it's a great movie.
One of the Patti LaBelle is in it singing.
Yeah. David Allen Greer,
Robert Townsend.
I've never seen it.
The
guy is the lead character.
Howard Rollins is right. Denzel Washington. The guy from Color Purple, the grandfather in Color Purple is a sergeant.
Yeah, yep.
Adolf Caesar, I think his name is.
Yep, that's his name.
Oh man, one of my favorite, one of the greatest.
Mine too.
If you I've never seen it.
Check it out. And especially about the issues of race and kind of how life was back then. But
oh man.
Sorry. Let's go. Let's keep running. What you got, Jay?
Damn, I know you're tired of telling us this, but what's left?
No, it's all good. So you got 6, 7, and 8. That wrapped up. That last question wrapped up the war movies. Okay. So that's been done. Soldier Athletes 1 through 5 is done. You got 6, 7, and 8, which are the plus minus questions. You have the holidays.
Okay.
1 through 4.
All right, let me get holidays for 4.
Okay. What holiday became popular after it was featured on an episode of Seinfeld? 5, 4, 3,
Festivus?
2. Festivus for the rest of us.
Is that correct? Wow. Yeah. I love Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Festivus for the rest of us. Shout out to Jerry Stiller, who just passed a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Shout out to him. Pooh, score 18-6.
Haven't scored a point since I asked what was the score. So,
That was the thing.
so
Never
all
do
we
that.
have is 6, 7, and 8.
You got 6, 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3 in the holidays.
Let me get whatever 6, man. Let me.
Okay.
Time to go all out, man.
This legendary Giants outfielder, his baseball resume is simply amazing. He was a 24-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time MVP, and hit 660 homers in his career. If those accolades weren't amazing enough, he would have, without question, added to them had he not missed 266 games in 1962 after being drafted into the Army to serve in the Korean War. Who is that soldier athlete?
I'm gonna say Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
I did not know he missed that many games for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Pooh shoots the 3 to get back into the game.
Nothing but that.
Pooh. He shot the 3 like
How many that was for?
6.
6.
So now the score is 18-12.
18-12. All right. Let me get holidays for 3.
Okay. Memorial Day originally honored soldiers who died in which war? 5, 4, 3.
World War One.
That is incorrect. U.S. War. While it is debatable or questionable, people have different theories on when it started. It always ties into the time frame of like 1866 to like 1868, somewhere around there. But how it started, people argue over. But that's when it was that time frame. So it's the Civil War.
Okay.
Next you have 7 and 8 in soldiers plus a minus, and then 1 and 2 in holidays. Which way you going, Pooh?
Let me do the 7.
This New York Yankees legend was in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 1945. I'm sorry, in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force. He still holds the major league record for most consecutive games with a hit at 56 in a row. He was such a star that he was initially given preferential treatment by the Air Force, so much so that at one point he demanded to see live combat from his superiors, but his request was denied. Who is that soldier athlete? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mickey Mantle.
The one, Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, I was gonna say Joe
DiMaggio.
I was gonna say Joe DiMaggio when I talked myself out of it.
Joe D. Hey,
I had it, yo. I talked myself out of Joe. I talked myself out of it.
Wow.
Trust your gut.
Trust
your gut.
You're right. Trust my gut.
Let me go holidays for 2.
What holiday celebrates slavery in the United States?
Man, you broke up. Which holiday celebrates what?
The end of slavery in the United States.
Juneteenth.
That is correct. Who you got? 8 plus or minus or 1 for holidays?
You get 8, man.
I ain't mad at you. Swing for fences, my brother. Before winning 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys in the 1990s, this defensive tackle served in the United States Air Force during the Gulf War. He was deployed twice in the war and flew a total of 45 missions before being promoted to captain prior to his discharge. Who was that soldier athlete?
Wow.
He won Super Bowl. He won Super Bowls when?
3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys in 1990. That's why this shit is an 8.
I know this one.
5.
Wow.
4.
Forgot about that dude.
3.
All right.
2.
Jeffco.
No. Who you got, Jay?
Chad Hennings.
Chad Hennings. Big old Brad Bosworth looking white boy, like
right, yeah.
big blonde dude.
Yeah, right. Like
Tough as
chiseled
nails.
out of stone, yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Oh,
last
man.
one for you, Jay. Hold on, let me, just in case I get audited, let me put -8 in here. Okay. What holiday was established in California in 1966 by a fellow activist, Dr. Malana Karenga? 5,
Shit.
3, 2, 1,
I don't know, 420.
and good guess. Kwanzaa.
Oh, shit, okay.
Kwanzaa.
Yeah. In the famous words of David Allen Greer, what the fuck is Kwanzaa?
What the fuck is Kwanzaa? All right, Jay,
Oh,
that
man.
makes you the winner of this week's trivia with a score of
Hip, hip.
20 to
Hooray.
-3.
Hip, hip. Hooray. Oh, man. Al, you hosted. Man, what you got for me? What's your parting shot?
My parting shot is in a week where I've lost 2 very important women in my life, mothers to some, mother-like to many. If you have your mother in your life, call her, tell her you love her, hug her when you can, if you're near her in this social distance point. But mothers are a precious, precious commodity. And we lost 2 in the last week in my life, and it hurt. So
No doubt.
do that for me, listeners, and I would appreciate it. It would, make the world a better place. Other than that, great show, great being here, and God willing, I will see y'all in another week.
No doubt. Yeah. Pooh, what you got for me, man?
No doubt with that, Al. That's what it is. Trust your gut, man. Had Joe DiMaggio pick. That's the first guy I thought about. So I just wanna reiterate, trust your gut. Go with your gut.
No doubt. Hey, that ain't bad advice.
Great advice.
Right. Yeah, I got nothing crazy, man. So, Al, speaking of moms, again, my birthday was this weekend, and so we already planned to, go over my sister's house, and, with everything, of course, with COVID, some people couldn't travel, so I'm sitting here Friday, just chilling, doing nothing at all, and there's a knock at the door. And I look out the peephole and somebody got it covered up. I started not to answer. I thought it was them dudes at Money's Complex that's coming around robbing people.
I listened to their
Right.
show where they said that. That's funny.
Right. So I was like, I don't know if I should answer this. So I was like, let me go ahead and answer. So I answer. And it's my mom and my other sisters came to surprise me for my birthday. So shout out to my moms, man, who, said she couldn't resist making the trip. So I get to celebrate my birthday not only with my sister and her family, but my other sister and my mom. So I love that lady, man. Thanks for showing up, man. We had a ball this weekend.
That's what's up.
Cool, man. Well, that's all we got, man. Again, y'all, check out the network, man. We growing. We got, Cornbread Fed is now, in the network. Check out our show with our wives. When I Shut, that's a weekly show as well. It's been added. We got other shows coming. So we're growing, man. We appreciate everything that y'all do for us as listeners. So we hope y'all appreciate everything that we provide you with. So check out the new shows on the network and all the existing shows. Shout out to Unsupervised, Anything, Everything, and Nothing. Lynn is back, so check it out. Yeah, so everybody, Take a Knee, Black Gumbo, everybody, man. Chab Dog, we are loving what's going on here. So again, go to defylightpods.com and everything's right there. Speak the Truth is always rocking every week. Y'all crazy, poo. So definitely gotta make sure that y'all check out everything, no doubt. But yeah, man, it's been another week. This is episode 159. So we crossing over into the 160s next week. Y'all check us out. Until then, right. Defy life.
Defy life.
Defy life.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.